her mass almost horizontal. Then a wave hurled her upright. So what? Please switch on the videos. Many are without videos. Please. So the storm and the wave capsized, overturned the ship, and its mast was parallel to the sea water. And what happens? In the next moment, another wave came and it turned to the opposite side. Then the ship became straight. Then a wave hurled her upright. My lifeline jerked taut. My lifeline, my protections jerked tight. I grabbed the guard rails and sailed through the air into wave walker's main boom. Main boom is main railings. So the ship has two levels of railings. So when the boat was overturned, I swam to there and caught the railings, lower railings. And in the next moment, when the rain, when the storm and the wave made the ship straight, I was clinging on. I was clinging on the railings. Then what I did, I slowly climbed up. I struggled to get into the deck. So you see, I grabbed, I pulled the guard rails and sailed through the air into wave walker's main boom. Main boom means main railings. Subsequent waves tossed me around the deck like a rag doll. So, clinging on the main rail, I was hanging there. At that time, what happened? Another wave came. That wave took me into the deck. You see, like gymnastics, bar gymnastics. He was on the bar like this. He was on the wheel first. The wave took him down out of the wheel. Now he was clinging on that, and the wave made him into the deck, onto the deck. My left ribs cracked, hitting on, ribs cracked. My mouth filled with blood and broken teeth. So he had got physical injuries because of this. His ribs were broken, teeth fallen down, mouth was full of blood. You remember, in such a situation, what will you do? Aditya, what will you do? We will begin to cry, isn't it? My teeth is gone, mouth is full of blood, and the rib is broken. How can I keep the plaster? The whole body should be plastered. You see, situation, crisis. Somehow I found the wheel. I tried to get the wheel. Lined up the stern for the next wave and hung on. So I caught the wheel and I got ready for to face the next wave, to control. So even he had a broken ribs, even he had lost his teeth, even his mouth was full of blood, he did not lose his energy. Naureen, do you follow me? All right? Okay. So he did not lose his energy. He was ready to face the challenges. With all these limitations and pain and struggle, he tried to face the next wave. Somehow I found the wheel, lined up the stern for the next wave and hung on. Water everywhere, but not a drop of water. Have you studied? Have you read? Water, water everywhere, but not a drop of water to drink. It is the words of Coleridge in his poem Ancient Mariner. So all around water is there, but it is sea water, it is salty water, not a drop of water to drink. I could feel that the ship had water below. From standing there, holding on the steering, he could sense, he could understand, he could realize that ship, its lower deck is filled with water. He can sense it by steering. Why? When the ship gets overloaded, the driver will feel it. Suppose you people are very experts in driving four-wheelers, I think so. Many boys are experts in driving four-wheelers, even without license. And many girls are experts in driving two-wheelers also, even though they do not have a license. So if you do not have a person at the back, rear, the scooter will jerk. If their load is there, scooter will go smoothly. The driver will sense with the load, the vehicle is moving softly. In this way, when he controlled the steering, he could realize that something heavy is there. He understood that the lower deck is filled with water. But I dared not abandon. You see the usage? I dared not abandon. There, you see, dare, it is a semi-modal. It is a semi-modal. After the modal, verb in the base form will come. Clear and understand? After the would walk, would eat. Clear now? Except ought and used. Except ought, that we say ought to. After ought, there will be two infinitive. Once again, let us go. You see, after we are studying like this, ought to.
Sir, you're not sharing.
Oh, I didn't share it. Okay. You see, models, we have seen models, semi-models. Semi-models. All these are auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs. When we use these, model plus bare infinitive, bare infinitive. That means bare infinitive means a verb without any form. Without any form. So here model, will plus walk. We cannot use walking, we cannot use walked, we cannot use to walk. This is wrong. So will walk. Would walk. Could walk. We are writing this one. But exception is there. Ought. Used. After this, there comes to. Then comes bare infinitive. So after ought and used, we have to write to infinitive. Ought to. So here dare. Dare is a semi-model. After that, bare infinitive should come. Usually, generally, people speak to, but that is wrong. That is wrong. Okay, so let us come. Now here, you see, but I dared not abandon, not to abandon. I dared not abandon the will to investigate. I didn't take the courage, that's the meaning. I didn't take the courage, then I used to. I didn't take the courage to abandon the will to investigate. Clear now? When I change the word dare into take courage, then comes a to infinitive. Clear now? Dare is a semi-modal verb. After that, we will use the verb in the base form without any to. But there is a tendency to use to. That should not be there. Dared not abandon, dare abandon. I need not bring umbrella. Clear now? I need not bring umbrella. Not need not to. Need not bring umbrella. In the same way, I dare not abandon. So there, after dare, since it is a semi-modal, you have to use only bare infinitive. You should not use to infinitive. If you change the sentence into another meaning, you see, I did not take courage. I did not take courage to abandon. To abandon. There it is there. I did not take courage to abandon the will to investigate. Clear? The difference, did you understand? Okay. So, investigate. Suddenly, the front hatch has thrown open. Front hatch, it is a secret door. It is a secret door. The front hatch was thrown open. Suddenly it was open. A door was opened. And Mary appeared. And she said, we are sinking. She screamed. She cried. We are sinking. The decks are smashed. We are full of water. The deck is smashed, broken, and water is inside. We are sinking to death. Hearing that, he said, come here, take the wheel, take control, take the wheel. I shouted as I scrambled for the hatch. Larry and Herb were pumping like madmen. When he reached the deck, he saw Larry and Herbie. They were pumping water to out. They became mad. As they pump, water gets in. Broken timbers hung at crazy angles. What happened? There were many things in the deck. Everything is there on the water. They were floating on the water. Timbers, maybe packets, some other things, useful things, daily usables, everything was floating on the water. The whole starboard of the ship bulged inwards. You see, the starboard, you see, this is ship. What is starboard? The front side of the ship is like this. Ship. This side is called a starboard. The right side of the ship, in the front side, is called the starboard. The starboard of the ship bulged inwards. From here, the wooden piece come inside. Through this, water comes. starboard side bulged inwards, clothes, crockery, charts, tins, and toys sloshed about in deep water. Here sloshed means floating, floating. Slosh, here meaning is floating. So water is here falling down, and all these clothes and all these things were floating in the water. I half swim, half crawled into the children's cabin. That means in the cabin, in the deck, there was water, so he moved through the water. Their children were on the cabin. He asked, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" "Yes," they answered from an upper bunk. There may be different stories for the bed arranged there. They were sleeping on the upper berth. When you travel in trains, you will see lower berth, middle berth, upper berth. So in the ship, it might be made like that, and they were lying on the upper berth. From there, they said, "We are all right." They answered from an upper bunk, "But my head hurts a bit." She told, "My head hurts a bit," said Sue, pointing to a big bump above her eyes. You see the style of saying. These are things what we have to accept and adapt in our life. She had a big bulge, big bump, a bulge, a swelling, the swollen eyes. There was swollen eyes, but she told her father, "A small one, little one, don't worry, a small hit." What we would say, small hit, we would say large. Can't, isn't it? We will balloon it. We will balloon the little things to a large thing. But here, understanding the situation, a matured girl, she told, "Papa, don't worry, you do your work. This we will manage." A little small, just a hit. And he could see a large bump. I had no time to worry about bumped heads. Papa said, "Even though it is very serious, at this time, I have no time to look after. Because if I go there, the whole ship will sink, all will die. It is better that one should suffer pain instead of dying. That is why, even though it is a hard hit, I have no time to look after." After finding a hammer, screws, and canvas, underline. After finding a hammer, screws, canvas, I struggled back on deck. Ardra Priyagosh, Fahis, Aman Farhan, Abhirav, Eva, Malavika, all are there? So he took these things from there. I struggled back on deck. I went back to the deck. With the starboard side bashed open, we were taking water with each wave that broke over us. The starboard, you understand? The right side of the ship in the front area. It is like this. This is called starboard. So this side is broken. Through this side, water is coming. And Herbie and Larry were pumping it out. And what is the first thing? It is to be repaired. It is to be repaired. You see, with the starboard side, right side of the ship, bashed open, pushed open, simply opened inside. We were taking water with each wave that broke over us. If I couldn't make some repair to the starboard side, we would surely sink. So he decided, if we do not take any necessary step to stop the water on the starboard side, what will happen? It will sink. It will sink. Somehow I managed to stretch canvas and secure waterproof hatch covers across the gaping holes. Some water continued to stream below, but most of it was now being deflected. Deflected here means controlled or deviated. Controlled here meaning is controlled. So he used some canvas and nailed there, tried to stop the coming of water. More problems arose when our hand pumps started to block up with the debris. Debris means the waste that are floating there, floating around the cabins, and the electric pump short circuited. What happened? The debris, the cloth, the wooden piece, cup, mug, all these things were floating on the water, and it blocked the pump. And with the water, the electric pump got short circuited. Short circuit. The water level rose threateningly. Back on deck, I found that our 2 spare hand pumps had been wrenched overboard. Wrenched overboard means fitted, were screwed, tied. All these meanings are there according to the situation. So the electric pump got went wrong, and it is not working. So what happened? Larry and Herb were pumping out. Then it is not done. So water was coming inside. So water level was coming up. So he had to find an option. At that time, he remembered some spare pumps were kept on the deck. You see, 2 spare hand pumps had been wrenched overboard, stored overboard, tied overboard, screwed overboard, packed overboard, kept overboard. All these meanings are there. Any meaning you can use it. Along with the forestay sail, the jib, the dinghies lifeboat, and the main anchor. So all together kept there. Which are they? Dinghies or boats. Forestay, the spare stay, that means a sail. Jib sail, 2 hand pumps, and the main anchor. Everything is in one place. It was stored there. He remembered. Then I remembered we had another electric pump. He remembered we have one more spare electric pump under the chart room floor. Chart room is a special room in the ship where all the maps and charts and locations are drawn there. Seeing that the captain understands the nearby places, understands the location and everything. I connected it to an outpipe and was thankful to find that it worked. He connected the electric pump in the chart room and connected it with an extra pipe, and it worked. The night dragged on with an endless, bitterly cold routine of pumping. The whole night without rest, they were pumping and steering, working the radio. Three things they were doing, underline: pumping, steering, and working with the radio. The whole night they were busy. One is with the wheel, one is with the radio. Radio means cordless telephone, maybe cordless telephone to send the messages. So usually it is called radio. Now it is called radar. Through radar we send the messages. So radio. Then pumping, steering, one is with the wheel, then radio. Three things. We were getting no replies to our Mayday calls. What is Mayday calls? Mayday calls are the calls done on emergency. In our common language, it is called SOS. SOS. Save our souls. Emergency calls. When your data, money in the mobile is over, its validity is over, it will be written there, emergency calls only. To ambulance, to fire, to police, emergency calls only permitted. When you get the prescription from the doctors, many of you are going to become doctors, MBBS doctors. So when you prescribe prescription to the patients, you will write there one, Meftal, tab Meftal forte, SOS 1. 100 SOS. And simply I told one example. Tab Meftal forte 100 SOS. What is the meaning? Meftal tablet is taken for as a painkiller. As a painkiller. So doctor says that when there is emergency, you can take one SOS. Other tablets you have to take morning, afternoon, and evening, 3 times a day. This one, whenever there is emergency, you take one. That is the meaning SOS. SOS. SOS calls, the calls which are permitted in emergency. That means you have to give preference to that call and you have to respond to that call. Respond that call. Clear now? So, to fire station, SOS is coming. And to that same police officer, he is getting in his personal mobile, wife's call. Wife is calling, how are you? Did you take your lunch? Are you all right? Wife is asking. At that time, he is getting an SOS call. House is burning. So preference should be given to SOS. SOS. Clear now? That is the thing. So even they did not get any reply for their SOS calls. Mayday calls means emergency calls. Emergency calls. Why? In that stormy sea, nobody was ready to take the ship. So nobody was there. They did not get the reply. So, which was not surprising. I did not get the reply. It is not surprising because nobody was there. Nobody was there. Suppose I am here, unknowingly I slept in the classroom. Suppose, like Napoleon Bonaparte. I slept in the classroom. And all the teachers went. And when I opened my eyes, it is midnight. Suppose, midnight. I got afraid. If I cry from the classroom, nobody will reply. And I say, there is no surprise because it is a large building. Nobody is here who will hear my cry. Clear now? The same thing, same thing. So there is no surprise in that. Which was not surprising in this remote corner of the world. That world we will change into universe. Little more. Don't write there. Just I want to tell you, large area in that remote, the farthest corner. Sue's head had alarmingly, swollen alarmingly, bigger bump. She had two enormous hippopotamus eyes. Her eyes became very large. Hippo's eyes. And now she showed us a deep cut on her arm. Now she told Daddy, not only hippo's eyes, not only this blackish bulged eyes, I have a cut here also. Bleeding is there. Blood is flowing. When I asked why you hadn't informed me earlier, I changed the sentence. Why you didn't inform me when I come over there? I came and asked you, are you all right? You told me, Papa, only just a simple hit. You didn't tell me. Why you didn't tell me this? If you had told me at that time, I could have given you some band-aid and all these things. First aid I could give you. When I asked why she hadn't made more of her injuries before this, she replied, I didn't want to worry you. I didn't want to trouble you when you were trying to save us all. You see, what a beautiful sentence you have. You should learn it by heart. And you have to tell to your parents also. When your parents are troubled, during the time of Corona, when your parents are troubled, every day they are calling to the airport. Flight is ready. Flight is no. Any tickets available? No. They are troubled. At that time, you are going for silly causes. What it will be there? Sometimes you may have an injury. You should tell Papa, don't worry. This I will manage. You carry on. I will go to the hospital by myself. You carry on. The children said, don't worry. You are saving us all. At that time, I should not project my personal grievance to you. I should not disturb your concentration. I should not divert your attention. You are trying to save us. Underline that sentence. I did not want to worry you when you were trying to save us all. By morning on January 3, the pumps had the water level sufficiently under control. January 3rd. From January 2nd night it was there. And we could take 2 hours rest in rotation. So some control was there. But we still had a tremendous leak somewhere below the water line. Underline, there was a leakage under the water line. On checking, I found that nearly all the boat's main rib frames were smashed down to the keel. What do you mean by keel? Keel is the main rib of the ship. From here, ribs are there. On these, panels are packed. So there is a damage here near the keel. In fact, there was nothing holding up the whole section of the starboard hull except a few cardboard partitions. So there was a great damage on the starboard side, touching to the keel. So that means ship is in danger. Ship is in danger. Without a proper maintenance, repair, they cannot go ahead. Let us see in the next class, what did they do? Okay, thank you. I end the class here.